Welcome back to the Inside Edge. I'm Wes Cusworth. Let's take a look at what's to come in GCA 3 in the final round. In GCA 3, Corio will be sharpening up for its attack on finals with a contest with Bannockburn. The Bulls have had a disappointing back half of the season but must endeavour to take a positive with a final round win. Remarkably, Thompson have come from the clouds and are a mathematical chance to play finals if they can topple ladder leader Geelong West and St Albans Breakwater suffer a heavy loss to Guild Saints. It seems unlikely, but cricket throws up some obscure results at times. The St Albans Breakwater versus Guild Saints contest seemed to have little on it a few weeks back, but as I mentioned, there's renewed interest in the battle between 4th and 10th now. Watch this space. Andrew Webb's Newcomen District looks to be on a hiding to nothing up against the GCA 3 powerhouse bolter from Ballarat Road, Lethbridge. Consistent form has been the key to Lethbridge's second place position, although that may come unstuck if the Dinos triumph and Corio gets up. The final match sees Manifold Heights venture to Warn Ponds Deakin, with the Sharks understandably confident of claiming another scalp, while the Eagles will be no pushover. Just how they halt the informed visitors, who have claimed 3 wins in a row and boast success against 4 of the competition's top sides to date, remains to be seen. One of the great things about our competition is when we have players that show enormous loyalty to clubs and play through a number of decades, and that is exactly the case with Ian Foote at Alexander Thompson. As he approaches his 500th game this weekend, I spoke to him and also club president Dennis Siddle. Well, congratulations on the 500 game milestone coming up this weekend. It must be absolutely fabulous for you to reach that stage after so many years of cricket.
Yeah, it's good. It's not, you don't play for those milestones, but it's good to get there. I just kept playing until the body held up, and so far the body's held up.
Tell us about how the Alexander Thompson journey began for you.
I moved from Western District country, and my parents had a farm there, and we moved to Belmont, and I played tennis as a junior because we had no cricket side down there, and I thought I'll try cricket basically. So I joined up with ATs because we lived around from the church just around the corner, and went there to the first meeting and then went down to train at McDonald's Reserve as it was in those days.
Now, I believe that's 40 odd years ago. Across the course of that journey, you no doubt have run into quite a number of people that have remained really good friends.
Yeah, there's been lots of people over the years that, there's not many left there's not many here now since I started. There's none actually. I'll be the last one of the group, but yeah, there's Wayne Olney, who's one of my best mates. Him and I played here for a long time. Alan Boyd, who played here, and then went to Leopold, and yeah, there's been a string of blokes who I played with over the years, and Tony Page I've known for a long time, and Dennis Siddle I've known for a little while, not as long as some of the other blokes, but yeah, it's been good.
And across the course of that time, the club has changed quite markedly. Has that been something that has brought you great pleasure to see new people come into the club and the way in which it's all unfolded?
Yes and no. I mean, I was player 203 or 4 or something, and there's over 900 players since we're up to over 900 now, so there's been over 700 players over 43 years. I mean, the difference I find now is back when I started, the side never changed. First were the first, seconds were the seconds, thirds were the thirds, fourths were the fourths. It's just everyone played cricket. But things have changed over the years with work and shopping and all that sort of stuff. So the guys just don't play like they used to. The sides change week in, week out, which is a little bit frustrating when you're old school, but that's just the way it is, unfortunately.
And over the course of that journey, I believe you've had quite a deal of premiership success. Tell us about that.
Won 8 flags, most of them in the churches, probably 6 in the churches, 1 in GDCA, and might have been 2 in GDCA or GCA. Might have been 1 in the 4s or 3rds in GCA, but most were in churches. We were a fairly strong club in the churches. That's why we left churches to go into GDCA as it was then, because we'd won 2 or 3 flags in the 1s and 2s in a row. So that's why we moved out to try to better ourselves back then.
Now, hopefully there's still some cricket left in you yet, but what enduring legacy would you like to leave for the Vikings when it comes time that you actually don't play any further after such a fantastic contribution to the club?
I just have remembered as a good clubman. I've been on the committee for 10 years, always helped out around the club. Probably not as much in the last few years, but for a long time around the bar, and I've done all that sort of stuff around the club. And hopefully I've been a good clubman, which is the main thing I reckon in a club.
Wishing you well for game 500.
Thanks for that, mate.
Well, obviously, Ian is someone that you've known for a really long time, and you must be delighted to see him have the opportunity to reach this milestone.
Oh, look, Wes, it's a fantastic effort for the club and especially for footy. He's been around a long time. 500 games is a lot of games, and I give him credit. I thought he was done 10 years ago, to be honest, when he sort of couldn't bat and bowl, but he sort of got a new lease of life the last few years and took over the captaincy of our fourth side this year, and just an absolute role model of our club. It's just been an absolute pleasure of knowing and played a few years with footy over the years. And it's fantastic, and take my hat off to him, mate. 500 games is a lot of runs. A lot of games. Yeah, it's good.
Well, a lot of runs too. He is the game's record holder by all accounts.
He is at ATs. He's current record holder for games and runs. He's obviously 500 games this week, and he's up to 8,899 runs for the club, which is also a club record. So. Fantastic effort. Absolutely take my hat off to him. And footy's footy. He's a fantastic bloke. And absolutely, I think over the 500 games, I think I've only ever seen him play one shot, and that's 3 point. So he's made a lot of runs through that way. And everybody who knows footy knows that that's his strength. And anybody who's made 1100s, mate, take my hat off to him. Fantastic career. Absolutely.
People of this nature obviously make an enormous contribution to the club. What do you want the young players at the Vikings to observe from the life and times of Ian Foote?
I think just his professionalism, Wes. He's always there to. He's very, very passionate about his club, our club, and just the old style cricket. Like you're backing up. You walk in with the bowlers. You get around each other when you get a wicket. And I think sometimes the juniors they watch a lot of 2020 cricket, and that's all they want to do is they want to go out and sort of hit sixes and hit fours. And it's great to watch, but I really take my hat off to footy. He's sort of taken a leadership role in the fourths. To try and teach the kids how to play proper cricket, proper cricket shots, and has really sort of, I suppose the word is, encourage them to play proper cricket and not get sort of sucked in with the the 2020. It's great to watch, but as a leader of the club, he's been nothing but fantastic. So.
Well, that's this week's Inside Edge program. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let's finish this week's program with a look at some of the highlights from the GCA competition last weekend.